Good morning. Good Sunday morning. I hope you are feeling the essence of just being grateful to be alive, and joining me here is a beautiful thing. All right, so let me make sure I am live in all the little places as we get here. And make sure as you get here that you say hello and let me know that you're here. All right. So, one more thing, let me pull this up on my phone. And joining me here. All right. Almost. All right. Oh, I got too many stacks of things right here. Let me put my phone there. And as I said, as you get here, make sure that you say hello and let me know that you're here. And I'm going to just go ahead and jump in today's affirmation and discussion. And oh, here we go. And just to share really quick, during the night last night, we had some really severe thunderstorms. And so I was up quite a bit during the night because it was so intense. And so I was very grateful this morning when I got up and I walked outside to go walk the dog that it wasn't raining, and there was no limbs that had hit the house. So it was amazing. But I'm telling you, nature was fierce last night here. I don't know about where you are, but it was definitely fierce here last night. And like I said, luckily, it was okay. All right. So, our affirmation for today is I release the need for perfection and embrace progress. Every small step I take moves me closer to the life I'm building. Every small step I take moves me closer to the life I'm building. Now, the thing is, sometimes, we fall into this trap of perfection, which perfection doesn't exist, right? But a lot of times we will hold ourselves back from doing something because we're afraid we don't know enough or we haven't got it just right. And I know this happens to a lot of people on social media because I did talk to someone not too long ago that I was working with, and he was trying to get or working to get every video that he was doing that promoted him on social media. He was tweaking it and redoing it and redoing it and editing, and he was spending so much time on it that it would get discouraged and then he didn't do anything. So a lot of times we're holding ourselves back with trying to make sure everything is just like we want it, right? We have to really embrace the opportunity to be a little bit vulnerable, to be a little bit messy, right? Because perfection is a trap. Just be honest. So sometimes we're waiting for the perfect moment to speak up for ourselves, to find our voice, to get in front of someone, share our story, share our ideas, right? And though looking for that perfect plan, right? There's sometimes that people have this business idea, something that they really want to do, but they get stuck in the planning process and they can't seem to perfect and know all the little nuances of what's supposed to happen, which it's impossible to know exactly what's going to happen, right? So there's so much about the perfection trap that keeps us stuck. But it's important for us to move forward, even if it's messy or we're really not sure how it's going to go, right? So maybe for you, maybe there's something that you've been wanting to do, but you've been kind of holding yourself back because you're just not sure how it's going to go, or you're not sure how it's going to be received, or do you need to learn one more thing before you move forward? So what's one thing you can do today without overthinking it? right? So it's exercising that muscle of staying outside of that perfection trap. And the other thing is, like I said, what's the one part of this at the end? It is every small step I take moves me closer to the life I'm building, right? And we talk about this a lot. A 1% change every day creates exponential growth. There's an amazing book by Jeff Olson. It's called, hold on a second. Now that I've said his name, the name of the book, it's not The Compound Effect. It is, God, what the hell is the name of it? I don't remember. It'll come to me. But in there, he talks about the compound effect of things. There is a book called Compound Effect, but that's not his. That's someone else's. So I don't remember. So forgive me. But you can look up Jeff Olson and what books he has. But he talks about how sometimes it's, we're not even looking at the little tiny things that we're doing along the way that actually create change, right? So it's a 1% change every day creates exponential growth. I know the Health Coach Institute, where I first studied to get certifications, what they say is small hinges swing big doors. And it's like, it doesn't take this really big, bold action. The important thing is to take an action, right? Whatever it is that you've got going on, right? So we don't need to be perfect. We don't need to know everything. We don't need to know how it's going to turn out. And one thing I heard recently, I think it was Myron Golden. I follow him. If you haven't ever watched any of his YouTube videos, definitely check him out. Myron Golden on YouTube. He's amazing, right? One of the things that he talked about was the fact that if you have a money mindset that is really good, if you have a productive money mindset, you don't have a money mindset that's holding you back, he said that you take more chances. You don't have to know the exact outcome because you just know that it's all going to work out however it's supposed to. And so if you're really holding yourself back a lot, maybe it's time to check on what is your mindset around money as well, right? Let's see. So now I'm going to share. I'm going to share the journal prompt. Okay. All right. So our journal prompt for today is, where have I been holding back because I'm waiting for everything to be perfect or everything to be just right? Where have you been holding back because you're waiting for everything to be perfect? And so it's time to look at that. Maybe you've had dreams in your life that you've wanted to do and the stars didn't align, the people didn't align, whatever it was, and you just went ahead and you left it on the table. You didn't pursue it. But one of the things that we talk about a lot is that opportunities a lot of times show up as obstacles. So sometimes you've got this idea, this thing that you really want to do, your heart's in it, and then you run across this obstacle that makes it feel like, this isn't my journey. It makes it feel like this is the wrong path. I don't know enough. Somebody gives you a little bit of negative feedback. Some different things start happening, and you feel like that's a sign that you shouldn't do this. But what if that's actually a sign that you're on the right path and that you're being redirected into a different way of doing the thing you want to do, right? So we can look at things as being an obstacle, or we can look at things as being growth, and that it is helping us to move forward on this path. And that's not to say that you stay steel-toed, dug in to something when you realize it is the wrong path. So it's one thing that you really have to get in touch with that inner guidance within you, and so that you can recognize when it is actually something going ding, 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 stop, move on, right? Or if it's ding, 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 move to the right. This is perfect. Just let's change this a little bit. So you have to get in touch with how this feels in your body and understand and listen to that inside voice, that inner guidance, your God voice, in which one of those it is. And that comes with practice, because in the beginning, you're not real sure. And it's okay to be unsure. So that's why you do the things like this, being here for the affirmation and the journal prompts to move you, right? To get into your inner voice. And that's when you get guidance from a professional. Maybe you join a new group. This originates in the stand up and stand out community, where a lot of people in there are entrepreneurs, and it's helping them have a voice of standing out for themselves and being vocal about what they do and who they help, right? Maybe, I don't know where you're at in your journey, but if you're unsure, you're uncertain, and you kind of go like, you're into that place where, oh, part of me says this is perfect, part of me says it's not. It's time to get these two parts of you in congruence so that you can move forward. And if you need some help with that, you reach out to me in a direct message, and I'll be more than happy to work with you and help you. We can have just a little short conversation to see if I can actually help you. And if I can't, somebody who can. And so there is so much gold and gifts within us that we don't even utilize because we're waiting on things to be perfect before we move. And what I'm really wanting to encourage you to do is move, right? Because if you're not moving, you can't tell which way to go. You're standing still and you're looking at all the possibilities and you're doing nothing. You'll still be standing there in a month, in 6 months, a year, in that same spot. But remember, the only thing constant in life is change. So if you're not moving forward, you may feel like you're standing in the same place, but you're not. You're actually moving backwards. And so let's make a choice. Let's decide that we're going to move forward, regardless of whether we feel like it's perfect. Then what's one small action that you can take today to move forward, even if it's imperfect? What is that action that you can take today? So for me, one of the actions that I'm taking today, so is the people that have been following me for quite a while, you know that I've been writing a book, and I'll use that term loosely because I haven't really done a lot with it. I was asked to write a book that goes in a series, right? It's a fictional book. And so I've kind of played with it a little bit and I've dabbled with it a little bit, but I really haven't been that serious about it. And I keep saying that I'm writing this book. So one of the things I have on my list for today is, and that's before I even got on here, is that I'm going to create some transcripts for my ideas on the book. And then I'm going to create the timeline for all the events that are going to be happening. And interestingly enough, I'll just share a little tidbit here. I've been really working diligently on trying to be more mindful of how much junk I have on my computer, in my emails to be specific, right? So I looked one day and I had, now I'm ashamed to say, but not ashamed, I am vulnerable to say that I had over 300,000 emails in my Gmail account. Right? Because I'm notorious for, I'll scan down, that's what I need to look at. I'll look at it, and then I think I may want to look at that again. I'll star it, but I don't delete it. I just sorry, I got a piece of fuzz on my face. I don't delete it and I keep going. And so over time, it doesn't take very long at all to suddenly have 5,000. And when I deleted all this stuff, and I created folders for the stuff, I thought I had put everything that I really needed in a folder, but I forgot one. What was that? The timeline stuff for this book. So this morning, as I put that on my list, I thought, well, let me go ahead and pull that timeline off again. And let's just see where we're at. But it wasn't there because I diligently decided I was going to delete everything off my Gmail account. And so I deleted some things that I wanted to keep. So interesting, right? So it's kind of it's a wake-up call for me to make sure that I'm keeping a lot better records of what I want, or as I begin something like this book, for instance, this email thread for this book, I should have, there I'm shooting on myself, but I should have created a folder immediately upon getting some of these emails and put them in that folder, right? So lesson learned, right? This is one of those life lessons to be more active and proactive on saving the things that I want to make sure that I have, and instead of just assuming that they're going to be there, because now they're not there. So it's really interesting, but that was one of the eye-opening things for me as I was going through this. So that is the thing that I'm doing today. I've already reached out with an email to the person that had sent me some of the timeline information and everything for the book. So I reached out this morning with an email and said, I apologize, but I need this information again. Please send it again one more time, and I promise I'll save it in the right place so that I can move forward. But I can still today, I have my ideas of what I want to do with this book, right? So I can create some transcripts of what I want to do without knowing the timeline, and I can adjust it as I get these ideas out, because these ideas have been in my head. And I have, like I've shared before, I have these little index cards with little thoughts and tidbits and stuff, right? But I've got a stack of these index cards. So it's time to stop playing with it and actually move it into something that I can begin to make the book, right? So I think I was kind of stuck in that perfection thing too, because I wanted to be able to start at the beginning of the book and just be able to go throughout. But it's okay to start, just take one of those index cards and write down what all that index card is about, and then get the next index card. So, you may not be writing a book. Maybe there's something else you're doing. Maybe you're about to start a business and you're trying to get all the little bits and pieces perfect before you do. Well, do something to get the ball rolling. Maybe you've decided you want to start a Facebook group and you've been holding back and you haven't done that. And if that's you, then I have a perfect thing that I can share with you that'll help you with that. If you're interested, put Facebook group or put group in the comments, and then I will make sure that I share some information with you that is so ultra valuable on beginning your journey with having a profitable Facebook group, right? That's the thing. We want a profitable Facebook group, not just a Facebook group that takes our time. We want to be able to pour into it, but it actually be something that leads to helping people at a deeper level, right? So whatever it is that you're doing, if it's a Facebook group, the one thing would be to put Facebook in the comments, and then I'll share some information with you. But maybe the other thing is just to go ahead and start a Facebook group. Create a Facebook group. Don't even worry about it. If you don't have an idea what the banner is, you don't really know what the name is, you can just put anything, because you can always change it. But it's making a step. All right. So I'm going to go back to the affirmation. Excuse me. Let me take a sip of my coffee. And really quick. All right. Perfect. All right. So our affirmation is I release the need for perfection and embrace progress. Perfection over progress. Oof, that is perfect, right? Because done is better than perfect. We actually grow through action, not endless planning. So let's shift our mindset to where we're not looking for how it's all going to end. And that's when we're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate the progress. We're going to do something every day, taking action every day to move forward. Taking an action every day to move forward. So once again, I release the need for perfection and embrace progress. Every small step I take moves me closer to the life I'm building. Put that on your index card, the screensaver on your phone, your sticky notes. Put it somewhere that you're going to see it today and be reminded that you have released this need for perfection. All you need to do is step forward in whatever arena that it is that you've been holding yourself back in. It's time, right? When is the best time to take action? Now. You can't take it yesterday. You can't take it 5 minutes ago. You can do it now. So as soon as we get off this Zoom, do one thing, take one action. So our journal prompt, where have I been holding back because I'm waiting for everything to be perfect? And what's one small action can I take today to move forward, even if it's imperfect? And as I always recommend, take your sticky, no, sorry. Take your notebook or your journal, put the date, the affirmation in the journal prompt, write it down, say it out loud, and then take 10 to 15 minutes in total silence to just connect with that inner voice that we've been talking about, that inner guidance, that God voice. Most of the time, you've got so much chatter going on in your head. You're thinking about the things that you've done. You're thinking about what you're going to do, but you're not in the moment. And when you've got all that chatter going on, you cannot hear that inner guidance letting you know what is the next step. What is a good step for me to take now? But have this written down, take that 10 to 15 minutes in silence. And then when the timer goes off, you just pick up your pen or your pencil and you just write whatever shows up, because your subconscious mind will be giving you so much gold. But most of the time we judge it. Ooh, I haven't been holding back like that. That's not true. But write it down anyway. It's just for you. Nobody else has to see it. So it's you getting in touch with your inner guidance, your God voice. You write it out. And then you look at it. And of all those things that you've written down, maybe there's one, maybe there's two, maybe there's 25. I don't know. But whatever is there, what is one small action that you can take today to move forward? Knowing that it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to happen. It just has to be a movement. Progress over perfection. Remember that. So let's keep it moving. Let's move today. Utilize some of your Sunday, provided you're in the U.S. It's Sunday. There are parts of the community that is not in the U.S. and that are in. Is it Australia? That one of them is in, or several of them are in Australia. So it's tomorrow for them, and so wherever you are, wherever you are today, move forward. And just a quick reminder, the only constant in life is change. So if you are not deciding to move forward, You may feel like you're standing still and you're staying in the same place, but that is not accurate. You're moving backwards. So decide today, how do you want to feel and what do you want to be happening in your life in a month, 6 months, a year? The decision happens now, moving forward, right? 1% change every day creates exponential growth. It's time to grow, baby. Let's keep moving. Progress over perfection. All right. So thank you guys for being here this morning. I greatly appreciate you. And I want to make sure I'm not leaving anybody out. And I will see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern in the Stand Up and Stand Out community. And let's see. And then just a reminder that next Monday, the 24th, is when Alpesh Patel, I think that's how you say his last name, is going to be live in the group as the group expert. And he is a physical therapist, and he has a product that for wrist health. And he is so knowledgeable about so much about the body that if you have ever had any inclination of, I wish I could work this out, then definitely you want to be there. But he is amazing, and he has got so many things that he can share. And so I want to have as many people as possible show up and support him for taking the time out of his day to share with you guys. So definitely look in the events section. It is there. And then also we're doing, Sue and I are doing another bingo. We had bingo the other day and it was so fun. And so our bingo night is, and it's all about limiting beliefs and uplifting beliefs. We're going to be playing with that, right? So it's not just you get a bingo card with limiting beliefs and you say, yes, that's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. And then bingo. No, we're actually, everybody has their own bingo card. It's a digital card. You can print it out, but you can even touch the screen and it'll X out your piece that you've, the phrase or whatever, you just touch it and it puts the X on there. And then we have discussions about a lot of the limiting beliefs that are in there. And it was so fun. So it is actually, I've got a link in the events section for that too. And that is going to be Thursday, the 27th at 5 p.m. Eastern. So make sure that you register for that event so that you'll be able to get your bingo card and your reminders, because it's going to be a party and it's going to be fun. And we're working right now to decide and figure out what, if there's going to be prizes, what they're going to be, so that you actually, not only do you get to really dive into what are some of your limiting beliefs and how to get rid of them and how to, oh gosh, my nose is itching, but you might also get a little gift for being a bingo. All right. So we will be here tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, and I would love to see you here. And remember, progress over perfection. Let's keep it moving. And I will see you tomorrow.